For InteractMD.com, this is Dr. Michael Benjamin, Thursday, February 4th, 2010. Today, I was disturbed by a story that came out about pre-washed bagged greens. Evidently, Consumers Union tested these bagged greens and found high levels of bacterial contamination. This is especially disturbing to me because I eat these bagged greens all the time, as no doubt many of my audience does as well. Consumers Union is a highly respected testing organization. They put out a well-known magazine called Consumer Reports. The Consumers Union doesn't accept advertising from any outside source, so they've remained independent for many years and built up a respectable reputation for independent and thoughtful review, mostly of washers and dryers and mattresses and restaurants, but now evidently pre-washed bagged greens. Now you may remember a story that came out a few years ago about E. coli contamination of spinach that was bagged in California. It turns out, from what I understand, the spinach contamination came from an adjacent feedlot that was contaminated with runoff from the cows on the feedlot. And E. coli 0157H7 came from the feedlot into the spinach farm and contaminated the leafy vegetable. And the problem is that many people got sick, and 0157H7 infection can be very serious and even deadly. So there was a huge nationwide discussion about this at the time. How do you control for the fact that something may be labeled as organic but not actually any safer because of that, because of adjacent farms and other problems, and then the whole thing kind of just went away until now. And it's very good that Consumers Union is bringing this back into the limelight here. What really disturbed me was the statistic they brought out from the testing, which was that of the samples they tested, 23% of them had high levels of contamination with Enterococcus, over 10,000 colony-forming units per sample. Now, we put that in perspective. We look at that in the hospital all the time when we are trying to diagnose a urinary tract infection. For example, we take a urine sample and we measure the number of bacteria colony-forming units in that sample. And anything over 100,000, from what I was taught, is clinically significant, especially if you put it in the context of other findings like urinalysis and talking to the patient. But we would consider antibiotics for people who present with symptoms and a urine sample that had over 100,000 colony-forming units of bacteria in there. So the very fact that they're finding 10,000 or more units in these samples of green leafy vegetables is disturbing to me, to say the least. I don't think I'd want to eat that. I don't think I'd want to give it antibiotics, but I don't think I'd want to eat it either. So take that into consideration the next time you're preparing bagged greens for your family. The convenience that this represents is huge, and I think America may be healthier overall because of the access to convenient bagged leafy vegetables. Overall, are we any safer if we're exposing ourselves to bacterial outbreaks and possible contamination from a source that we would otherwise trust? Something to think about next time you're in the grocery aisle, or maybe invest in one of those salad spinners that allows you to wash the greens and then pump out all the water before you serve it, because then the salad dressing sticks better, from what I understand. Anyway, that's today's big news. From InteractMD.com, I'm Dr. Michael Benjamin. Thanks for watching.